and welcome to our discussion about SBA loans today. SBA loans, which are small business administration loans, which are guaranteed by the Small Business Administration, which is a federal agency. This is a vital resource for entrepreneurs and small business owners when the traditional loan options might not be feasible. These loans, backed by the federal guarantee, the SBA, to the lenders, and it encourages lenders to lend to the small business. So what do you need for the SBA loans? The first and foremost thing you need is credit worthiness. You got to have a good credit. They're looking your character in your credit, your history. How do you handle your accounting? How do you handle your accounts? If you are paying your accounts on time, even if you don't own any business before, on a personal level, then you're good. This is how they determine the character of a person. Your credit score, it matters. It has to be at least 680. We're looking 700 plus credit score. So when you have a low credit score, there's a low chances of getting the loan approved. That's a very, very first thing you need to see. Second thing you need to see, your finances. If your finances are good, if you have enough money and are not too much deep into debt, can you provide all those financial statements? You will have to fill the forms there. These two things you need first before you hunt for the business, because after that the business is going to qualify. If the business doesn't qualify, well, you can move to another business. But if your credit and financial statements are not good, there's just dead end right there. Before you even think to go for any SBA loan, you need to have these two things. And like traditional home loans, you don't have any pre-qualification for these. So this is all case by case. So first thing, credit. Check your credit. There are so many free apps now available. You can go and download that. Check your credit. See what their scores are. If you lack somewhere, you can improve. If there is some account left behind, you can catch up with that. If there's some debt need to be paid, pay that one off. SBA is all about documentation. You have to document everything. And if you are someone who are afraid of documentation, not able to provide what is needed, well, you might not be able to get the loan, and you shouldn't start that, because you have to spend a lot of time. Your loan officer, your brokers, they have a limited time, and they cannot do what you can do. So I would recommend everyone to study before anything. Get some knowledge about the SBA loans or about the business you're getting into. That is more important. They are giving you a loan to grow through the business. So you gotta know the ins and outs of the business. This is very, very important stuff. After that comes to collateral. So collateral is not really required by SBA, but lender wants the collateral to secure the loan. They want the loan to be secure with something, which later if something happens, so they have some kind of assets, to recover the money from. So that's not really SBA's requirement, but it happens, especially when you buy a real estate. Of course, that has to be collateralized. But on top of it, if you own a home or any other collateral, lender may require to collateralize that as well. And the third thing they're looking in you is the capacity. So the capacity it comes to the income of the business, the cash flow of the business. The stronger the cash flow is, means you can easily pay your loan off. So the lender is looking for 1.25% of DSCR, which is the debt service ratio. So if you have a 1.25% of it, which means you're making more than the debt service. So this is how they qualify you. But what I would say the good business is, if the business is netting 2.0 ratio, which means you're making double money than your debt service per year. So that is, I will consider as a good business. There are some businesses who are making 3 times of it, 4 times of it. If you are someone in that boat, you really need to do a thorough examination of the business. Because there's no point buying a business which can't even cover the debt service. The business has to be good. And this also comes on the longevity of the business, how long the business is in place. 10 years or more is better. So now if it's a new startup, like some people start the business, sending after 3 years, there's very less chances of getting that thing approved. New startup, that's why we don't like new startup. They don't like new startup. The only new startups the SBA like to do is hotels and motels. So they have more chances of stay there as compared to the other businesses, because it also have the collateral. So they have collateralized something. They like hotels and motels a lot when it comes to new startups. So the collateral, after collateral, this is the capacity of the business. And also it also comes on your management. How are you going to manage that business? What is your experience on that field? They will require the resumes of all those owners who have 20% or more stake in that business. That's very important. If you have a good LinkedIn account which shows up that what you were doing before, that helps a lot. Resumes, that tells a lot about you. Sometimes it comes to resume. If the resume is not good, that's a big no. So every part is really very important when it comes to qualify for the SBA loan. Prepare for the ton of documentation. Don't ignore that. You have to fill a lot of forms and provide a lot of documentations. For you need 3 years of your tax returns and your financials. So there are some SBA forms available. So be prepared to fill up the SBA form 413 and SBA form 912. 413 is for your financial information. You need to state all those liabilities and assets and what money you have. And 912 is for your personal information about you. And on top of it, you got to fill up the SBA application, which is 1919 and 1919R. So these are the applications you need to fill when you start the loan. Financial statement has to be strong. So strong means you got to have some money to support yourself after you open the business. This is very important. So when the people say how much money you need to buy the business, SBA can do the business acquisition for 90%. So you need to put 10% down, but 10% is not the only money you need to have. You got to have much more than that in your account. After when you start the business, you have some money to operate for at least 6 months to a year. So these things are very, very important. Again, their goal is your success. Okay? If you succeed, they succeed. The lender succeeds. Win-win for everyone. And of course, you also want to succeed. So find something, a good business, which has a good cash flow, and SBA is there for you. Up to 90% you can get the money from any SBA lender and be your boss. If you need our help, give us a call and go to our website, check it out, some resources about the SBA, how you can get qualified for it. All the applications are there and most of the information is there. If not, just give me a call. We'll answer your questions. Thank you.